Well, I'm going to talk about the differences between the formal and the informal English. But first of all, we need to take into account that we need to learn the way how to acquire the formal and the informal English, since it helps to us to communicate with other people or even in different contexts. In the formal English or formal communication, the speech act or even in a written test, the sentences are longer and more complex. It is used, for example, in books or official documents, news reports, business letters, or official speeches. The informal communication, the people are shorter and simpler concerning with the conversation. For example, it is used in everyday conversation and in personal emails, or even when we are meeting with our friends, that we talk about the likes, dislikes, our hobbies, and so on. The formal and informal communications contain certain expressions that we can use to start conversation or even a text. These kind of expressions are beginnings, making requests, apologizing, complaining, endings, and other kinds of expressions. Well, for the beginnings, in a formal way, we can use some structure when we are writing a test. When we are writing a test, we can use some expressions in a formal way, for example, like "Thank you for your email regarding me that I have to go to the doctor." And in a formal way, I can use something like "I am writing you to let you know that you need to go to the doctor." Well, other expression is making a request. In a formal way, we can use something like "I would appreciate if you could close the door." Or in an informal way, making a request, for example, "Could I ask you if you can close the door?" Well, another kind of expression is apologizing. In a formal way, we can use "We apologize for any inconvenience caused during the party." Or in a informal way, for example, "We are very sorry for the trouble in your house." Another kind of expression is complaining, and we can use something like I am writing to express my dissatisfaction with the party. And the complaining in an informal way is something like "I'm not happy with your reaction," and something like that. And for endings, of course, in a formal way, "I look forward to hearing from you 3 years ago," for example. And in an informal way, the endings, we can use something like "Just give me a call if you have any questions." And other kinds of expressions are, for example, expressing total agreement, that we can use some expression like "I agree with you 100%," or "I couldn't agree more," or "That's so true, I completely agree," or "Absolutely," "Exactly," and so on. For example, expressing partial agreement, we can use some expression like "I agree with you up to a point," or "That's true, but," or "You could be right, however," or "It sounds interesting, but," and something like that. Or we can use total disagreement, and we can use some expression like "I totally disagree," or "No way," that is like a kind of slang, or "On the contrary," or "I'm afraid I can't agree with you." And finally, for example, if we are asking to people for an advice, we can use some expressions to ask to the people, for example, something like "What do you advise me to do?" or "What do you think I should do?" or "Do you think that I should make something or do something?" And at the moment to answer this advice, the people or even your friend can giving you an advice, something, use some expression like, if I were in your shoes, or if I were in your position, I would, and so on. Or why don't you, and continue the advice. Or have you tried, and something like that. Well, that's it. I hope that the formal and the informal communication uh, has been clear, and that's it. Thank you very much.